Directing traffic, gonna go deep, has a man deep, it is caught for the touchdown!
Zach escapes pressure, Zach tucks in and runs. Zach Wilson's loose, Zach Wilson's running, he's got all day, he stays in bounds, Zach Wilson caught it, Zach Wilson gets in the end zone for the touchdown!
Yo, what is good, Jets Nation? Welcome back to another Jets Media live stream. And we got a crazy rumor to talk about that came out last night from Pro Football Network's Tony Pauline that the Jets are interested in trading the number 10 overall pick for a wide receiver, running back, wing back, whatever you want to call him, Deebo Samuel. So I want to break down this in the stream. I want to hear your guys' thoughts about this situation because this is crazy. Now, before we really get super into it, we need to understand that this is a unconfirmed rumor. So we do not know if it is confirmed that the Jets are willing to do this. But I still want to talk about the hypothetical scenario of what if the Jets do package number 10 and something else for Deebo Samuel? What is the rest of the draft going to look like? Is it smart to trade that 10th overall pick for Deebo Samuel? And that's going to be the main topic in today's stream, and I'm super excited to get right into it. So, guys, if you're just tuning in for the first time, make sure you smash that like button so we can get to 100 likes by the end of the stream. I am super excited to be back making some Jets content with you guys. We got 4 days until the NFL draft. A lot of crazy things are going to be happening with the New York Jets and, of course, on this channel. So if you guys are not subscribed to Jets Media, please make sure you do so. I got a lot of Jets content coming your way all the way leading up until the draft, the day of the draft, all weekend, after the draft. You guys know the deal. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Help me get to 11,000 subscribers. That will mean a lot to me. So with that being said, let's jump right into it. So first and foremost, let's hear from you guys in the chat or you're watching this on replay. Would you want to trade the number 10th overall pick for Deebo Samuel? Please let me know in the chat. Say yes, say no in the chat or in the comments down below if you're watching this on replay. I should probably put up a poll as well so I can get a better understanding of where Jets fans' mindsets are at on getting Deebo Samuel on the Jets. All right, let's put up a poll so I can see what you guys think. All right. Should the Jets trade the 10th pick for Deebo Samuel? Yes or no? And I'm assuming there's going to be non-Jets fans in here saying no, no, no. And I'm aware that it's going to take a little more than the 10th overall pick. It's not going to be like number 10 for Deebo straight up. It's probably going to be number 10 and maybe pick 69 or pick 111. For Deebo Samuel, we get Deebo and a late pick back, something like that. I don't think it's going to be straight up 10 for Deebo. I think that's going to be that the main topic is, do you want to add the 10th overall pick in the package for him, right? So the poll is 69% yes so far. So far is leaning towards the yes. And okay, now do you guys want to hear my opinion? I think you guys already know what I'm going to say. Yes! You pay Deebo Samuel the money and you give up the 10th overall pick. Why is that? Because first of all, the 10th overall pick isn't even ours. We got that from the Seattle Seahawks. So if we did package number 10 and something else for Deebo Samuel, we essentially traded Jamal Adams for Elijah Vera Tucker and Deebo Samuel. Deebo Samuel is coming off an historic season. And yes, you can make the argument that he only has one elite year of production under his belt. He also only has 3 seasons in the NFL. He's also extremely young. He also has a lot of upside. He's also getting better. So the reason why I would absolutely love Deebo Samuel on the New York Jets and why I believe it's worth giving up that 10th overall pick. Think of it this way, right? Say we luckily come away with Kayvon Thibodeau at number 4. And we draft Deebo Samuel at 10. And yes, you do have to pay him around $25 million per year. On the other hand, if you rather not give up the 10th overall pick, you want to draft a guy like Drake London or Jameson Williams, then you're not paying him that much money. But the difference of drafting a rookie wide receiver at number 10, like a Garrett Wilson or any of those prospects, and trading that pick and other picks for Deebo Samuel is you are getting a veteran that's been in this league for 3 years, that knows the speed of the NFL. You're not going to worry about rookie curves. You're not going to worry about when he's going to develop, when he's going to break out. It's a reliable, elite weapon for your young quarterback. And now some people will say, well, Richie, that's an overpay. I don't want to give up the 10th overall pick and pay him $25 million per year. That's an overpay. You're right. It is an overpay. But the New York Jets are in a position to afford overpaying for an elite production at wide receiver like Deebo Samuel. Zach Wilson is on a rookie contract still. We still got a lot of offensive talent on rookie contracts. Mekhi Becton, Elijah Vera-Tucker, Michael Carter, Elijah Moore. We have a very young nucleus on offense, and there's not anybody on this offense that's getting paid big-time money. All across the board. Corey Davis, he's getting like $13.5 million per year. George Fant, he's getting like 10. You know, we signed Conklin and Uzomah. They're getting decent contracts. But there's not really anybody on this offense that's making crazy money. We have the cap space and the draft capital to get this done. And what this does for not only Zach Wilson, but this entire New York Jets offense, if Deebo Samuel does come here, is it opens up the offensive playbook for Mike LaFleur in a way where Jets fans have never experienced in their lives, potentially. Deebo Samuel is one of those players that offense is not clicking. Zach Wilson's getting, sacked. There's pressure in his face. Nobody's getting open. Deebo Samuel is one of those players. You just draw up a quick screen pass to him, and he can take it to the house. He's that good. He's that dangerous with the ball in his hands. So what I'm trying to say is what Deebo Samuel would bring to this Jets offense is so astronomically different than what a rookie receiver would do. Because people need to realize that not every single rookie receiver is going to be Jamar Chase, is going to be Justin Jefferson. And what I mean by that is being elite out of the gate. It's just not guaranteed. I prefer, we have our young stud wide receiver on this roster that I'm excited to develop to be our guy that we drafted. That's Elijah Moore. We have that. I prefer to package him up with a guy that's proven to be an elite player doing historical things last year. Because that's going to open up Elijah Moore even more. That's going to open up Corey Davis. That's going to open up Braxton Berrios. It's going to open up the run game for Michael Carter. And most importantly, it's going to give Zach Wilson an opportunity to really take that next step in year number 2 with a reliable star-level talent on the perimeter. Now, I don't want to get my hopes up too much because we all know what happened with the Tyreek Hill situation. And this thing could fall through. Another team could trade for Deebo. Deebo can decide to stay with San Francisco, which I don't see happening. But we have no idea. The one thing that we do have an idea of is the New York Jets are in the best position to land Deebo Samuel. And we also know that Joe Douglas is a general manager who said he will be aggressive if the right opportunity presents itself. We saw the evidence with Tyreek Hill. Cap for life with the $2 dono. Deebo going to Miami, Richie. We pulling a Pat Riley. Ooh, don't say that. That is utterly impossible, right? Congratulations. You guys got Tyreek Hill. You guys won those sweepstakes, all right? We get it. You got Tyreek. The Jets didn't. You're not getting Deebo, okay? You're probably joking, I know. But I don't want to hear this. I don't want to hear anything from Fins fans right now, okay? I'm still salty about the Tyreek situation. But it's not going to matter because we're going to get Deebo. And Deebo's younger. And he's going to be better than Tyreek. Yes, I said it. Come on, let me be somewhat, optimistic about my team, okay? Okay? Enough of you guys. I'm just kidding. Guys, if you're just tuning into the channel and you're just tuning into the stream, don't forget to smash that thumbs up button. Let's get to 100 likes so we can get as many NFL fans and as many Jets fans in here to continue the discussion of should the New York Jets trade the 10th overall pick and more for Deebo Samuel. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well if you are indeed new. So we are 82 votes in on the poll, and it seems like 73% of you guys are saying, yes, trade the 10th pick for Deebo Samuel. Now let's go into some hypothetical scenarios here, guys. This is fun. The Jets trade for Deebo Samuel, right? Hypothetically. We gave up the 10th pick, and we gave up pick 111. And we got Deebo Samuel and like another late round pick. Okay, that's the package. What are the Jets going to do in the draft? You know what I think they're going to do? They're going to trade down and acquire more picks and acquire some more picks that we had to give up for Deebo. That's what I think they're going to do. It also gives the Jets a lot of flexibility of not relying on drafting a receiver early. But the big question is, would they trade down from 4? Because if they do trade for Deebo and the 10th overall pick is in on it, and say Thibodeau's off the board, and say everyone that they really love is off the board at number 4, and they move back and they acquire more picks, they get an extra second this year, or they get an extra third this year, or they get even some picks next year. They're acquiring capital that they essentially gave up for Deebo, and they can still get their guys in the draft. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen. I think that would be a smart move from the New York Jets and Joe Douglas. So we will see. Max, I appreciate the support, man. There is so many amazing Jets YouTubers on here. You know, I would be here for a while if I had to say good things about each and every one of them. We are very lucky as a Jets fan base to have not only incredible fans like you guys, but also an incredible Jets fan base on Twitter, an incredible Jets fan base on the YouTube community. And I'm very thankful to be part of the Jets community here on YouTube because it really is a passion of mine to be able to voice my opinion. And you guys listen to me. You guys agree with me. You guys disagree with me. And I really do appreciate it. So, Max, this does mean a lot to me. I appreciate you big time. Now, I do also see people in the chat, and I've seen people on Twitter talking about, well, hey, if the Jets did this, this is a Mike Maccagnan style move like we did for Le'Veon Bell. Now, if you guys watch my channel for a long time and you know my mindset when it comes to the New York Jets, you know that I absolutely hate everything that Mike Maccagnan did with this franchise in terms of being short-minded, in terms of trying to take the shortcut, in terms of paying big-time players that are not worth it and trying to go all in to win next year. Now, there's a big difference in paying Deebo Samuel $25 million per year and giving up a 10th overall pick than signing like Le'Veon Bell or CJ Mosley or Tremaine Johnson. Want to know the difference? Le'Veon Bell already hit his prime, and he also was 1 year not even playing football, and we gave him that big contract. Deebo Samuel is in the prime of his career. He's entering year number 4 in the NFL, and we can afford overpaying for a player like Deebo Samuel without having any cap flexibility problems in the future and draft capital problems in the future. If we did not have 2 first-round picks and 2 second-round picks and 2 fourths and 2 fifths and a third this year, and if we did not have all this cap flexibility that Joe Douglas was so ingenious in making for the New York Jets franchise, then we would not be in a position to get Deebo Samuel. That's what people need to realize. What Joe Douglas has done for the first 3 or 2 years that he's been with this franchise is set up this team beautifully to be able to strike for a player that becomes available like Deebo Samuel. If he did not do any of that, if we extended Jamal Adams, we did not trade him for all that capital. If we kept Sam Darnold and we did not trade him for that capital. If we did not somehow get a 4th for Chris Herndon. If we did not somehow get a 6th for Blake Cashman. If we did not somehow get all these different trades that Joe Douglas pulled off with all this capital, then you're right. It would not be smart for the New York Jets to trade for Deebo Samuel. But that's not the case. Joe Douglas has set up this team to be able to strike for a player if they come available and not feel like they're losing so much capital and so much cap flexibility for the future that's going to hinder their future. We can afford to overpay, and that is okay. It's okay to overpay for a player like this if it means that you're going to help your young quarterback, and that's the most important thing right now. The New York Jets have not had a franchise quarterback in my entire lifetime, most of your entire lifetimes as well. How long? I don't think we want to talk about how many years it's been since the Jets has had a serious franchise quarterback that's going to be here consistently winning ball games year in and year out. And that's what we want Zach Wilson to become. And the only way you let Zach Wilson develop into that franchise quarterback is by spoiling him with elite weapons around him. I love the young core so far that Joe Douglas has done around Zach Wilson. In free agency this year, he did not do anything in the wide receiver position or the running back position. He invested all this money in the tight end position by getting CJ Uzomah and Tyler Conklin. I absolutely love that because he understood that the tight end group sucked last year, and Zach Wilson loves his tight ends. So what does Joe Douglas do in free agency? He beefs up the offensive line with getting Laken Tomlinson, the Pro Bowler, gets 2 legit tight ends, and now he's pivoting to the NFL draft and the trade market to get a big-time wide receiver like Deebo Samuel, or if you want to go into the draft, Jamison Williams. I love what we have already on offense with Elijah Moore, Elijah Vera-Tucker, Mekhi Becton, Michael Carter, Braxton Berrios, Corey Davis, even Denzel Mims as a really big depth piece that we'll see what he does in year number 3. Obviously, don't really have a lot of high expectations for him. But what I'm trying to say is I feel like this Jets offense is one big-time player on the wide receiver position away where Jets fans can look at the depth chart and say, wow, we actually have an offense that could be good, really good. And the big X factor about if the offense will be good or not is the obvious Zach Wilson's progression. But we've seen around the league, the best way to help your young quarterback succeed is by giving them weapons. Joe Burrow, year number 2 last year, they spoiled the man with weapons. Not saying that the weapons are the reason why Joe Burrow went to the Super Bowl, but I think it was a big reason for it. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tajh Boyd, Joe Mixon's great. CJ Uzomah, thank you, Bengals. We'll take him from you guys. And we saw Joe Burrow take a gigantic leap in year number 2. Now, they did it a little differently. They didn't, spend big-time money on a receiver. They drafted one of Jamar Chase, but there's no Jamar Chase in this draft, I think, personally. And then you could see what the Buffalo Bills did with Josh Allen. They did exactly what I think the Jets should be doing this year, trading a first-round pick for an established veteran wide receiver that is elite, like Stephon Diggs, and all of a sudden, Josh Allen becomes one of the best quarterbacks in the league in year number 3. So there's different ways to do this. And I think that the Jets are in a really good situation right now to overpay and not feel like it's setting this franchise back. Because I just feel like Deebo Samuel is that guy that could take this offense to an absolute another level. You trade for Deebo Samuel, you use your top of the draft picks, like the number 4th pick and your second-round picks, all on defense, and then you go in the back end of the draft and get offensive depth. You get a swing tackle, you get more offensive line depth, you get a running back later in the draft, you might even draft another wide receiver later, maybe even a tight end. And then early in the draft, you get a safety, maybe a linebacker, obviously an edge. So there's a lot of different ways that the Jets are going to be, improving the roster. And the best thing about this, guys, it's going to happen soon. No longer sitting here and waiting in hypothetical scenarios and Richie just making up stuff about, oh, what if they do this? Or what if they do that? Everyone's tired of that. I'm tired of it as well, guys. I can't wait to finally see who the hell is going to be on the Jets by next week at this time. Green Empire Lawn Care with the $5 super chat. Thank you so much, my man. Always appreciate your donations. Always means a lot to the channel. Do you think if we get Deebo and have a solid A+ draft with everything in free agency, could we be toe-to-toe with Buffalo? Now, do you mean like competitive in the 2 games that we versed them? Or do you mean toe-to-toe in Buffalo competing to win the AFC East? I think that we're not going to be able to win the AFC East this year. And hey, the Bengals won it last year, their division. Nobody expected that. I'm not saying it's going to happen or it's not going to happen. But I do think that we could beat Buffalo at least once. I don't think we're going to go toe-to-toe to Buffalo in terms of, competing to win the division this year if we do get Deebo and we have an A+ solid draft. But I do think that we'll be able to beat the Buffalo Bills once. Yes, I do. Buffalo is a very good team, and us Jets fans would hope that we become the Buffalo Bills in the next 2 to 3 years. And it pains me to say this. As a Jets fan who went to college in upstate New York in Bills Mafia, surrounded by Bills fans, that was during the Sam Darnold era. And I was out there saying Sam Darnold's better than Josh Allen. Bills suck. I look like the idiot, don't I? So I know Bills Mafia very well, and I know the Buffalo Bills franchise pretty well. But the Jets are very far behind the Buffalo Bills, and I think Jets fans understand that. I think we are a season away from being able to compete in the AFC East. And that's me being realistic. And that's also me being hopeful, right? If everything goes smoothly this year, I think that the year after this year is where we can actually have a sense of we need to win the division. We need to make the playoffs. I don't have that mindset going into this year because we're still young. We still have a lot of holes, and we still have players that are developing. So I think year number 3 in the system with Robert Saleh and Zach Wilson is potentially the year where we can hopefully compete for the AFC East. That's my thoughts. That's just me being realistic. I know that Jets fans don't want to hear that and saying like, oh no, Richie, I want to win now. I don't want to wait. I don't want to be patient anymore. And I understand that. I really, really do. But realistically speaking, I cannot go into the season with the expectations of us going toe-to-toe with the Buffalo Bills, even if we get Deebo Samuel, because a lot of things have to go our way, especially defensively, because the Buffalo Bills are one of the best defensive teams in the NFL with an elite quarterback in Josh Allen. So the Jets got a lot of things to develop before we can compete all the way with the Buffalo Bills. But the one thing I will say is if the New York Jets do land Deebo Samuel and we do have an A-plus draft, we're going to be a really fun team to watch this year. And we're going to be one of those teams that NFL fans around the league are going to look at the Jets and say, damn, Jets are fun. The Jets have been bad for a while, but they're fun this year. They may not be making the playoffs or competing for the Super Bowl yet, but they're on the rise. And they're a team that I'm enjoying to watch. They're fun to watch on Sundays. Because we know that Zach Wilson is a quarterback that, regardless if he takes that next step, which I believe he will, he's a flashy, fun quarterback to watch when everything's clicking, right? If you just see Zach Wilson's best games as a rookie, we saw a quarterback that has that flashiness to him that, modern day NFL fans enjoy watching, right? Not saying that Zach Wilson is on the same level as any of the elite quarterbacks like a Mahomes or Josh Allen or Justin Herbert, but he has that, talent in him that he can make those flashy, fun highlight plays where, non-Jets fans around the league look at the Jets and him making those plays with potentially Deebo and Elijah Moore making that step and seeing the young core on offense where, damn, the Jets are a fun team. So that's something I'm excited to see. It really does stink that I'm live right now talking about like the hypothetical scenario of Deebo being on the Jets because he's not on the Jets. And I know that if he doesn't become a Jet, then I'm going to be pissed off. So let me just ground ourselves real quick, everybody, and remind everybody that Deebo Samuel is not a Jet. It's not guaranteed he's going to be a Jet. Don't get your hopes up. Prepare for him not to be a Jet because if he does, then that's when we go live and throw parties and pop some champagne and we have a good time on the channel. That's when that happens. But as of right now, don't expect Deebo to be on the Jets. Don't expect it because it's pretty unlikely because we're Jets fans. Nothing really goes our way, right? That's what I'm trying to say. So don't get your hopes up too much. But guys, this has been a really fun stream so far. We're 23 minutes in. We got 166 of you guys tuning in. We're talking about the hypothetical scenario of if the New York Jets should trade the 10th overall pick for Deebo Samuel. Please let me know in the chat if you guys want to trade for him. And let me know on the poll right here if you feel like it would be a good decision for the New York Jets to package the 10th overall pick for Deebo Samuel. And of course, help me get to 100 likes by the end of the stream. We have 53 likes with 175 people tuning in. So don't forget to smash that thumbs up button for your boy. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you guys, whether you're a Jets fan or a Dolphins fan or an AFC East fan or an NFL fan, and you're tuning in. It really does mean a lot to the channel. So the New York Jets are in such a good situation. Now let's do another hypothetical scenario, everybody. What should the New York Jets do in the draft if we do land Deebo and we do trade package the 10th overall pick for it, right? So let's all do that hypothetical. I think that at number 4, we all want Kayvon Thibodeaux to fall to us, even though it's not guaranteed. He can easily go in the top 3. So best case scenario, we trade 10 for Deebo. We're staying at number 4. In my opinion, I think the Jets would be smart to trade back, allocate more draft picks, get their edge rusher that they love, whether that being Thibodeaux if he falls, Trayvon Walker, Jermaine Johnson, even Karlaftis. I don't know. Get their premier edge rusher in the first round after trading back, acquire more capital that you had to give up for Deebo. And then we don't have to worry about getting a big-time receiver early. We can use that premier picks on defense. Maybe getting a D-back, like a Daxton Hill is a player I really love. Jalen Petrie is a guy that I love. Leo Chenal, the linebacker, is great. Lewisine, safety. There's a lot of defensive players that are going to be on the Jets' radar in the second round. So we could potentially come away with this draft by getting an elite edge rusher in the first round. If we wanted to trade back, get more capital that we had to give up for Deebo, so it doesn't feel like we gave up too much for Deebo, and get 2 good defensive players in the second round. Third round, you go more offense, maybe grab a running back to complement Michael Carter. In the 4th round, maybe get an offensive tackle to be that swing guy behind Mekhi Becton and George Fant to develop. Also get some wide receiver depth. Maybe we can get a guy like, I don't know, a guy in the later rounds I like is Bo Melton. Maybe a wide receiver that's going to help out for the developmental piece and to provide depth. Maybe even a tight end later in the draft. You know, there's so many different avenues, Merle. So many different avenues that the New York Jets can go. And it's pretty crazy. I see a lot. I've noticed a lot of Jets fans want the Jets to draft Breece Hall in the second round. I want to talk about that real quick. Breece Hall is a phenomenal talent, and I think he's going to be a really good player in the NFL. But I just love Michael Carter so much to the point where I don't think we need to use a second-round pick on a player like Breece Hall. I'd rather the Jets take defense in the second round and get a halfback to complement Michael Carter later on in the 4th or 5th round. Because I have that much confidence in Michael Carter being the guy for this team. We have Tevin Coleman coming back. We have Ty Johnson and all those guys. And I want the Jets to draft a running back for sure. I just personally don't think it would be smart to take a guy like Breece Hall the second round, unless the Jets absolutely fall in love with him and they feel like he's going to take this offense to another level and Michael Carter and Hall are going to be like 1 and 2 forever. I mean, you can't deny that, right? You can't deny the Carter and Hall combination being borderline elite, right? You can sell me on that, but I feel like there's a little more holes on this roster than a complimentary running back behind Michael Carter that I'd rather get, like a linebacker, like a safety, like an edge rusher, like an offensive tackle, like a, even tight end 3, wide receiver. We don't have a wide receiver yet in this offseason. So I'm going to put my glasses on because I forgot to protect my eyes. Sorry, guys. Woo, that feels a lot better. These are blue light glasses, if anybody's wondering, to protect my eyes from this gigantic light that's screaming at me. If you could see it through the glasses, there it is. It blinds me basically blinds me if I don't remember to put these on. So we've been live for just under a half hour talking about the hypothetical scenario of the New York Jets trading the number 10th overall pick for Deebo Samuel. So we have 210 votes on the poll saying if the Jets should package the 10th pick for Deebo. 72% of you guys say yes. Interesting. About 40% Niners fans about to be Jets fans with Wilson and now Deebo. I'm down for that, and also Salah and everything else. Did you guys also see the video of Mike LaFleur and Deebo Samuel when they were on San Francisco together hugging? I was like, okay, make it happen already. Like, stop showing me all this stuff. Oh my gosh. Did you guys also see the video on Twitter that came out from last night? Deebo Samuel was at a club, I believe, in LA, and there was a sign that said Deebo Samuel is returning to the Niners, and then it cuts to Deebo Samuel, and he looks at the camera, he's like, no. I'm not going to be back with the 49ers. I thought that was pretty funny. So, oh my God, I just want to know what's going to happen already, guys, because I'm so sick of being a Jets fan that sits here with my feet up, having no idea what's going to happen. In a perfect world, Deebo's a Jet. In a perfect world, Deebo is a Jet, man. It's too perfect of a scenario for the Jets to not land him. Orpheus says 10 is not overpaying. I agree. Even if it wasn't overpay, I think it's worth the overpay. People need to realize that that 10th pick we got is a luxury. It's not like we don't, like, if we didn't have 2 first-round picks and we only have pick 10 and we don't have a pick at number 4, then you don't probably want to trade your first-round pick for a guy in Deebo. But that's not the case, guys. We got a 4th and a 10th pick, 2 top 10 picks, which is why we can afford giving up that 10th overall pick. Not to mention, we also have 2 seconds being in the top of the second round as well. They're not 2 seconds in the middle of the back end of the second round. They're at the top. The top of the second round. What is it? Pick like 3 and 6 or 7 in the second round that we have? That's insane. Are you kidding me? We need to take advantage of all the capital and cap space that Joe Douglas has built, and that's exactly what he is doing. We got 200 people tuning into the stream. Welcome in, everybody. If you did not hit that like button, help me out. We have 69 likes. What a number. So help me get to 100 likes before the stream is all wrapped up. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you guys tuning in. If you're just tuning in for the first time, as you can tell by the title of the video and the banner down below, the topic is, should the Jets trade the 10th pick for Deebo Samuel? And if you want to get in on the action and let your voice be heard, there is a poll in the chat that you guys can answer yes or no. And it seems like the answer is yes, is running away with the show. 73% of you guys still want the New York Jets to trade for Deebo Samuel while giving up the 10th overall pick. Now, another thing that we need to realize is Deebo Samuel needs to Deebo Samuel needs to be open to coming to the Jets because, first of all, he's not coming to the Jets if he doesn't want to sign an extension. The way it works, the same thing would happen with Tyreek Hill and the Chiefs, is teams call the Niners and they work out a package and say the Niners and the Jets, hypothetically, agree on a package. Then the next move, before they trade for him, Joe Douglas needs to talk to Deebo Samuel's agent. They needed to work out a contract extension, and that needs to be agreed upon before the trade goes through. Because the New York Jets would be smart, and I don't think they're going to do this. They'd be smart not to trade for Deebo without getting an extension, because the last thing this Jets team needs to do is trade for a player that's going to be a one-year rental. So that's another thing that Jets fans need to realize that is a little complicated when it comes to trading for a guy like this. You need to, number one, offer a package that the Niners will accept. You also need to, number two, offer a contract that Deebo Samuel and his camp will accept. So I am all in on Deebo Samuel. I see, a lot of different opinions floating in the chat. I see a lot of different opinions floating on Twitter as well, that the Jets don't need to overpay. I'd rather build through the draft, get your wide receiver in the draft, get Drake London, get Treylon Burks, or get Jameson Williams or Garrett Wilson or all these different rookie wide receivers. We don't need to overpay for a guy in Deebo Samuel when we can just draft our own. And you guys know where I'm at with this situation. I've said it over and over again already on the stream. The Jets can afford to overpay for a player like Deebo because that's going to help out their young quarterback tremendously, and that's what this is all about. You see what the division has become. The Miami Dolphins just got Tyreek Hill. The Buffalo Bills are only getting better. The New England Patriots, I don't know what to make of them. They got Bill Belichick, so I'm not going to write off the Patriots until he's gone, to be honest. And then you see around the AFC conference, Russell Wilson is in Denver all of a sudden. What the hell? Deshaun Watson is on the Browns. I mean, he was in the Texans, so it's not like he just came to the AFC, but you guys know what I'm saying. The Bengals are a legit team now all of a sudden after last year's Super Bowl run. The Baltimore Ravens didn't even make the playoffs last year, and people forget how good the Baltimore Ravens are when everything's clicking. What I'm trying to say is a lot of talent in the AFC, and there's a lot of talent on the offensive side of the ball. So it'd be smart for the Jets to try to stay on the same level of these offenses in getting a superstar player that's proven Because you guys have to realize that is not guaranteed. Just because you draft a wide receiver at 10 that you guys like by watching his highlight tape and watching his film and watching his college everything doesn't mean he's going to guaranteed pan out. A lot of busts in the first round with wide receivers. Not saying that any of these receivers are guaranteed to be busts, but me personally, I'd rather the Jets get a sure player that we know what he's capable of at the NFL level for 3 years than a guy that's more of a mystery box. Like a guy that's going to come in here and have rookie mistakes with in his year number 1 with Zach Wilson. Like, how old is Deebo? I don't even know. Is he 24, 25 range? Let's find out. I don't know off the top of my head. I'm sure you guys are spamming in the chat already. Oh, Richie, he's this age. He's 26. Okay. So Deebo Samuel, he just turned 26 in January. So he's in the prime of his career. If we gave him like a 4-year extension, he'd be on the Jets from years 26 to 30. You're getting prime Deebo Samuel for all the years that Zach Wilson's on a rookie contract. Right? Think of it that way, guys. That's another thing that Jets fans need to understand. You need to take advantage of having a quarterback on a rookie contract, because if everything goes smoothly, and I said this on my stream yesterday, the Jets are going to have to pay Zach Wilson a lot of money. And like I said, that means that's the best case scenario. The best case scenario for the New York Jets is the Jets giving Zach Wilson a huge contract in the next 3 seasons, because that means Zach Wilson has become a great quarterback. We are rooting for Zach Wilson to get paid a crazy amount of money, because again, that means that he's the franchise quarterback and he deserves the deal. But at this moment, we need Zach Wilson to become that quarterback. How do you let Zach Wilson to become that quarterback that's going to potentially get a huge contract to be the franchise guy? You surround him with elite playmakers while he's on his rookie contract, because we're not going to be able to pay big-time money to offensive players around Zach Wilson when he's on a huge contract in a couple of years. Now is the time to pay your playmakers big-time money because you can afford it. Does that make sense? Am I making sense to you guys, or are you just looking at me with like, what is Richie saying? It makes no sense. You see all these quarterbacks around the league on the rookie deals go all in to help their young quarterback, because you don't have to pay your quarterback that much money. And we know that quarterbacks get paid a lot. You see the Josh Allen Bills, like, what is it, 40+ million? The Patrick Mahomes Chiefs. The Chiefs had to trade Tyreek Hill. Did you think they wanted to trade Tyreek Hill? No, they literally couldn't keep him because of Mahomes' contract. So the Jets need to take advantage of Zach Wilson being on a rookie contract. We also have a lot of other playmakers and a lot of other players on this team that's on rookie contracts. So we need to surround and overpay players now. Because when Zach Wilson's due to get his contract extension, then hypothetically Deebo Samuel's contract will be up, and we have the money to give it to Zach Wilson and other players that will be deserved to get paid, right? So that's what I'm trying to say, guys, is we have a short window of trying to win with Zach Wilson on a rookie contract. And if you want to win with a rookie, with a quarterback on a rookie contract, you need to be aggressive. You need to be assertive. I'm sick of the mindset of, okay, guys, let's build through the draft only. I'm all in on building through the draft. Don't get me wrong. If you guys know me, I'm all about building a nucleus, building a foundation through the draft. That's exactly what the Jets have been doing the past 2 years. Last year, most importantly. But there does come a time where you need to be aggressive and assertive and push the button, to make a splashy move, to make this franchise get a little spark of energy, a little spark of superstar players. And we have the opportunity right now. That's why I don't understand the mindset of not wanting to get Deebo. Do you want to just sit back and just like not take advantage of what we have? Not take advantage of the capital and cap space that Joe Douglas allocated for us? Not take advantage of the rookie quarterback on a contract that's cheap to surround him with elite weapons and not being in cap hell? Because that's what people need to realize. When you say, I don't want to overpay for him, why don't you want to overpay for him? We can afford it. We can afford to overpay him. We can afford giving up the 10th pick and giving him a gigantic contract and not hurting the team and setting them back. That's why I don't understand the side of Jets fans saying they don't want Deebo. I want to know why you don't want to overpay him, because we could afford it, which sometimes we overpay for players when we couldn't afford it. Like Le'Veon, we should not have done that. Jermaine Johnson, we should not have done that. A lot of other examples throughout this decade, I understand. But it's a completely different situation right now. We could absolutely afford getting a player who's coming off an historical season, and he's available. Lefty Glover with the $5 super chat. Thank you so much, my man. It means a lot to the channel. Appreciate you big time. What's up, Richie? Deebo is a great wide receiver. Let's keep our pick and do us. Right now, I just think making a move like this just seems forced. Great work, bro. Lefty Glover, I really do appreciate the donation, and I appreciate the kind words. Big time, man. Really does mean a lot to the channel. Everyone, give Dono hype to Lefty Glover in the chat. Appreciate you big time. So what Lefty Glover is saying, that he agrees that Deebo is a great receiver, but he prefers to keep our 10th overall pick, and he feels like making this move just seems forced. Now, I understand where you're coming from. When you feel like, the Jets are doing everything in their power to get an elite wide receiver. You saw what they tried to do with Tyreek Hill. They struck out. And you see players, wide receivers being disgruntled, and you feel like it's forced. I understand this mindset. I understand where you're coming from. But as I said over and over again, I feel like it's worth overpaying for him. I feel like the Jets are in a perfect situation to be able to afford this. And it's been a while since the Jets had an opportunity to overpay for a player and not feel like it's setting this franchise back. Does that make any sense? Because another thing that Deebo Samuel will do, that staying at number 10 and picking receiver at 10, is guaranteed to make a big-time move, a big-time impact this season with Zach Wilson instead of getting those rookie curves, right? Now, listen, what's the word I'm looking for? The good news about this whole Deebo Samuel situation, guys, is either way, we're going to come away with a good wide receiver in the next couple of days. Plan A for me is Deebo Samuel. But plan B is pretty damn good. We could take the best wide receiver on the board for us at number 10. And we'll be like, all right, Deebo, you went to the Packers, or you went to the Lions, or you stayed with the 49ers. Okay, we didn't get you. But we got Jameson Williams, or we got Garrett Wilson, or we got Drake London, or we got Traylon Burks, or we got Chris Olave. I mean, that's what's so awesome about this whole situation for the Jets, is we all know that we're going to add a big-time wide receiver in the next couple of days. Plan A is Deebo, but plan B is not that bad by getting a huge potential star receiver in the draft. That's why I'm sitting back like this right now. Hold on. I'm sitting back like this. Like, oh, either scenario I'm down for. I may prefer Deebo over the other, but we're still going to get a fire receiver in the next couple of days. So what's the point of freaking out, everybody? What's the point of like, oh, no, I don't want this one, I don't want that one. We're about to get either Deebo Samuel or a top receiver in the draft. Be thankful for that. Because that's going to help out. You know what I mean? Like, we need to take a step back for a sec. Let's take a step back for a sec and understand the situation that the Jets are in. That we have the luxury of getting either Deebo or a top receiver in the draft. Because if the case was it's either Deebo or bust, then I'd be freaking out. I'd be like, holy crap, if we don't get Deebo, this wide receiver room is screwed. The offense is done. The offense is not going to take a big step next year. But it's obvious that the Jets feel like we need to add a big-time player at the wide receiver position, whether that's through the trade market or the NFL draft. So it's a win-win situation is what my point is, guys. So enough with Jets fans turning on each other saying, no, don't get Deebo. Or yes, we need Deebo. Or no, draft Traylon Burks. No, I hate Burks. Draft Drake London. I hate London, actually. Draft Garrett Wilson. Guys, it's a win-win scenario for the New York Jets. we are going to get a good receiver to package up with Elijah Moore and Corey Davis and Braxton Berrios and Denzel Mims. And yes, it's not a win-win scenario at the same time because they do need to hit on their pick. Just because they draft a receiver at number 10 doesn't mean that he's guaranteed going to be great. He could be a bust. There's busts all the time. We don't know. But let's hope it's not a bust. Let's hope that the Jets, if they do draft the receiver at 10, it's a player that's going to come in here and be impactful and be a big-time piece for the future. If the Jets go the route of not getting Deebo at 10 and they draft the receiver, my guy is Jameson Williams. You draft Jameson Williams at 10, you draft another receiver later in the 4th or 5th round. Jameson Williams is not ready for week 1. That's okay. He'll be good to go by October or so. And we're thinking, future for the Jets. This draft is not about 2022 as much as it is for the future. And you heard Joe Douglas speak on that on the Michael K show. And that's what people also need to realize with their mindset going into this NFL draft. And of course, with the trade potential, right? Joe Douglas and the Jets are not drafting. They're not trading for a player for the 2022 season only. And that is music to my ears because all of the past regimes for the New York Jets have had that exact mindset of I have to do everything in my power to win 10 games or more and win the division or make the playoffs this season. Otherwise, I'm going to be fired. And that is when the Jets front office makes terrible decisions by overpaying players and being way too aggressive when we cannot afford to be aggressive, which sets his franchise back. Joe Douglas has the owner's trust, and he has a long-term vision where he's looking at the depth chart in 2023, 2024, 2025, and how it's going to look like. And that's what Jets fans need to hear. And then you're going to get some Jets fans saying, well, Richie, I don't like that mindset. I'm sick of waiting. The Jets haven't been in the playoffs in 10 years. Why do we have to not have a win-now approach in 2022? What I'm trying to say is, I'm not saying that the Jets are not going to try to win this year, but they have a mindset to build a sustainable winner for the long term. That is a very good thing. You need to be proactive and think in your future, not even just for football or the New York Jets, but in life, right, guys? If you live a short-term mindset and you just have short-term goals, you'll hit them and you'll be happy, but all of a sudden, your long-term goal is not clear, and all of a sudden, it's not going to be coming to fruition. So even in life, you have to have a long-term approach. I need a 5-year plan, in anything, whether that's your job, whether that's creating a business, whether that is, it can be anything in life. What I'm trying to say is you need to be able to have a long-term approach in anything, in your job, in life, in business. And guess what, guys? Football is a business. So that's why it is very important and awesome and music to my ears that the Jets finally have a man in charge in Joe Douglas who has a long-term approach trying to build a sustainable winner. Because we've never had that. We've only had people saying, oh, we need to win now. We need to go all in. And they go all in and we win a couple games with crappy veterans and falls apart. We can't land stars. I'm excited about the draft. Yeah, I'm excited for the draft too. The Jet Show, thank you for the $2 dono. Means a lot, my man. Again, it's awesome that we have the luxury of, hey, maybe if we don't land a star, like the Jet Show says, not the end of the world because we have so much draft capital to draft and develop our own star. And hey, guys, we low-key have potential stars on this roster already. I don't want to get you guys a little riled up here for a sec, but if there's 2 players on this Jets offense that I can say with confidence has potential, not saying guaranteed, but potential to be a star in this league, it's Elijah Moore and Michael Carter. The only thing that's holding those 2 back in my eyes is health. They both struggled with injuries in their rookie season. So we have 2 stars potentially on the roster at the playmaker position. Add an established superstar, Deebo Samuel, to that mix with Corey Davis, who is known to be a guy that really plays good football when he has a player next to him that's getting more attention, and a guy in Braxton Berrios, who I think is going to shock a lot of people across the NFL. and Elijah Moore and Michael Carter entering year number 2. And this offensive line looking stud with 2 legit tight ends all of a sudden. Whoa. This Jets offense has some potential, man. And it's getting me excited. It's getting me excited. So let's get to the poll because the results are pretty much the same. We have 400 votes. 71% wants to trade the 10th overall pick for Deebo Samuel. So let's get it on. I want to go to Twitter because I haven't been not been on Twitter this entire stream. Maybe I'm missing any reports or any news about Deebo. Let me know if you guys know if there is the latest update on what's going on with Deebo. I'm on Twitter now. I don't see anything other than Deebo being at a club saying, I'm out. Get me out of here. But yeah, doesn't seem like there's anything I'm missing. Woo! And let me remind everybody that it is a win-win potential win-win situation for the Jets, that if the Jets do not get Deebo, we still have a chance to draft and develop our own star wide receiver. Deebo's in Malibu, California. Rams or Chargers? Hopefully not. I don't think this means anything. He's just doing his offseason program probably. Even though he did say in an interview that I saw that he only trains in Miami, so I don't know. That doesn't really mean anything to me. Why are there so many brain-dead, delusional Niners fans who don't know how trade value works? I don't know. Hey, man. The Jets are a team that is known to, absolutely ruin franchises when it comes to trades. So maybe the Niners are afraid of that. And that's a fact. I mean, look at the Jamal Adams trade and look at the Sam Darnold trade. And 49ers fans need to admit that what we did to the Seahawks and the Panthers were pretty crazy. And I'm pretty sure the Niners don't want to get screwed like that. So they're trying to get as much as they can for Deebo. And you can't blame them, right? If you put your mindset in the 49ers fans' perspective and Deebo's demanding a trade, they want the most out of him. They don't want to give him up for, stuff. But so I can't blame 49ers fans for wanting as much as they can. Richie, what do you think is being spoken about in these negotiations with us in San Francisco? I don't know. I wish I could be the fly on the wall if that's happening. I think, luckily that the Jets and the Niners, they have ties together. Saleh, LaFleur, and the entire coaching staff comes from the Niners. So I think that Joe Douglas is like, hey, I'll give you number 10 and number 11, 111, excuse me, and you give me Deebo and another 4th, and let's ride. Let's ride. Let's get it over with. Let's get it over with. Jets fans are morons. Thank you for calling us a moron, or me a moron. All of us a moron. I don't know what I'm saying that makes you feel like a moron, just based off the facts that Deebo wants to be traded and the Jets are interested, and I'm just creating hypothetical scenarios. But I guess that means we're morons. In all seriousness, though, there's a lot of fun things to look forward to in these next couple of days, guys. It's no more weeks, so we have to wait, or months, couple days. Richie, hope all is well, bro. Love the content. Deebo will be a Jet by Tuesday, and if not, we're still in good position to draft a talented wide receiver. Joe Cool NYC, love the hat. Let's go Mets. And I appreciate these kind words from you, my man. And I agree. Deebo will be a Jet by Tuesday, and if not, we're still in a good position to draft one. And that's been my main point throughout this entire stream, Joe Cool, is that it is a win-win situation for the Jets. If we strike out a Deebo Samuel, it is not the end of the world. It's not, because we could still get a gigantic or a very talented wide receiver in the NFL draft. So Joe Cool means a lot to you, my man. A pick in the top 10 has a crap ton of value. Stephon Diggs got traded for a late first, and he's arguably better than Deebo. Facts. Glad to see you back, man. It feels good to be back. Perfect timing. I'll be live every single day leading up into the draft. I'll be live during the draft. I'll be making some content. I'm going to come out with my final 7-round mock draft for the Jets, see if I can predict who the hell is going to be on the Jets. It's going to be a lot of fun things on this channel leading up. So, guys, if you're not subscribed please make sure you do so. It means a lot to the channel if you can help me out to get to 11,000. And of course, hit that like button if you did not already. It means a lot to the channel. We got Niners fans in here talking crap to the Jets. What do we do to y'all? We didn't, take Deebo from you yet. When we do, then we'll see. Let's see. Look at those highlights. Deebo will give confidence back to Wilson. Jets will make playoffs with Deebo next season. Hey, look, this is a San Francisco 49ers fan that is showing some love to the Jets. He's a guy that is being practical here, realistic here. A Niners fan talking some sense because it's true. Deebo will give the confidence to Wilson. Now, I don't know if the Jets will make the playoffs next year. I'm not going to get my hopes up that high, man. But I do love your optimism here about the New York Jets. All I'll say is if the Jets do get Deebo and they do make the playoffs, this channel will be exploding. Just in terms of me exploding. Not like numbers-wise, but I will be exploding on this channel. I love it. Absolutely love this take. As always, enjoying the content. Cannot wait to see what the team looks like next week. Go Jets. Thank you, Mr. Boise Bomber. Appreciate that. It's going to be a lot of fun this next week, bro. Holy crap. It's finally here. We got a full weekend ahead of us. Thursday, Friday, Saturday of craziness. Who's it going to be? It gets me really jittery and excited thinking about this draft because, oh my gosh, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be so fun. This could be the franchise-altering draft for the New York Jets if everything goes our way. If Joe Douglas trades up, trades down, trades for players, oh my gosh, this is going to be something crazy. And you can see it. You can sense it as well. Even like NFL analysts around the league are saying that the Jets could really get good if they play their cards right in the draft based on all the capital that we have. We have the most capital in this draft by anybody in the entire NFL. So it's up to the New York Jets and Joe Douglas to ace it just like they did last year. We got Browns fans in here. I am open arms to all NFL fans. So if you are not even a Jets fan and you're a Browns fan, you're a Niners fan, you're an AFC East fan, you're all welcome. I appreciate you guys tuning in to the channel. If you guys want to hit that subscribe button, I really do appreciate it. Even if you're not a Jets fan, tune in, man. I got a lot of fun things coming your way. Let's see. Deebo not worth 25 mil, let alone a top 10 pick. Jets doing us a huge favor if the trade goes down. So my take on this is something I've been saying throughout the entire stream is this could be a win-win scenario for both the Niners and the Jets, right? Say the Jets do trade for Deebo. Now the Niners get the 10th overall pick and they don't have to pay Deebo. They can use that 10th pick on a big-time receiver. But for the Jets' perspective, we could afford to overpay him and not feel like it's setting this franchise back for a multitude of reasons. Deebo Samuel will literally put this offense on his back at some times. And it's not like he's going to be the only weapon. It's going to be him, Elijah Moore, Michael Carter, Barry. I mean, there's a lot of guys on this roster. But what Deebo Samuel will do is take this offense from here to like off the charts if everything goes as planned. The Jets can afford to overpay. And I'm someone that is afraid to overpay for people. Not that I'm the one overpaying. Obviously, I'm not the GM for the Jets. But if you guys watch my channel for years on end, I always said we need to have a long-term approach. We cannot take this shortcut and start overpaying for players. But this is a different scenario. The New York Jets can afford to do this without setting this franchise back. What Joe Douglas has done to acquire the draft capital is for this exact moment where we have the 4th pick and 35 and 38. We don't need the 10th pick, and we have money to give him. So that's why it's a no-brainer for me. It really is a no-brainer for me as a Jets fan. Mike, as a Niner fan, says Deebo is worth a 10 and one of your second as this guy put the Niners on his back with the Jimmy intercept. That's a good one, Mike. I like that. Jimmy Intercepolo. Yeah, so we got 2 Niners fans saying Deebo is I want to trade him away for that package, and Mike is saying he is worth that. So it's funny to see a lot of San Francisco 49ers fans in here voice their opinions on what Deebo Samuel will be doing. Jimmy Intercepolo. That's a good one, man. Good luck with Trey Lance as well. And I mean that with a good heart, Trey Lance, Zach Wilson, 2 quarterbacks drafted next to each other. I'm hopeful that they both play well. I got nothing against the Niners. I actually like the Niners because we're basically the East Coast Niners if you look at the coaching staff and the system. So let's see it. Manifested into existence, Jets gang. I sure hope you are right. All right, guys. So that's going to do for the stream. I appreciate all the smack in the chat. I appreciate all the Niners fans in here talking some smack. I also appreciate the Niners fan coming in here showing some love. I appreciate each and every one of you guys tuning into the stream. If you guys are not already, smash that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Expect another live stream coming your way tomorrow. Maybe be doing a live mock draft. We can do a lot of fun things on this channel. So make sure you hit that notification bell as well so you get notified every single time your boy goes live. We got a super chat to get into before we wrap it up. Would you trade AVT and Deebo for Jamal Adams? Yes. Good point. If we had Jamal Adams and we could trade Elijah Vera Tucker and we could trade him for a stud offensive lineman and a stud receiver for a box safety, I would do that immediately. Yes, sir. I would do that immediately. This is a really good way to break down this trade. We're basically trading Jamal Adams for AVT and Deebo Samuel. And I don't know why you wouldn't want to do that. Deebo would absolutely succeed with the Jets. You clowns tend to forget we run the same offensive scheme. Let them know, Sports Frenzy. Ground them. Nah, but in all seriousness, man, I really do appreciate all the love, guys. Appreciate all the bicker in the chat. It goes a long way. And I'll catch you guys at my stream tomorrow. Let's go, Jets. Deebo Samuel, please be a Jet. Peace out, everybody.